I was looking at this picture, and this was a project 1 that John did. By looking at this picture, let's analyze this. So when you do any Photoshop adjustment or even a Lightroom adjustment, you look at your image and then see what needs to be done to bring out whatever that you are trying to communicate. So let's take a look at this picture. I'm usually looking at the front one, not the side one, but the front one when I do adjustment because it appears slightly different. So if you look at this picture, what is this? What this picture is about, by the way? What is this picture about? What are we looking at? Lunch. Okay, food. Okay, food, lunch, landscape, people. So it's interestingly, I thought that my first impression was, okay, this is people. It's a portrait, but then what I heard is lunch and then landscape. Do you know why? Because those areas are clearly there. But then people part, those two figures are not really clearly there. That is because, why? Right, they are under the umbrella. Also, where are the lights coming from? Where is the light? From behind. So there is apparently something that we can do to bring out that people element in here so that this picture is not just the landscape and the lunch, but those people who are enjoying the picture. I mean, the lunch and the sceneries. Where is this, by the way? It's a beautiful place. Do you know?
It's somewhere in the Alps.
Okay. Yeah. So that's the thought process, right? So everyone should look at your picture carefully and then think about what that picture is about, what you're trying to communicate. And based on that analysis, you can start to add whatever the necessary adjustments. So I will take that approach here. I'm going to open this picture in Photoshop. Everyone kind of agreed that, well, the background, the scenery is great. We can see the food, but then the figures are dark. This picture has all the universal overall adjustments. So the color is adjusted and retouched overall. After you do a universal initial color and tone adjustment and retouching, the second thing you should do is to go into a local adjustment. I will try to select the shadow area. Maybe I'll try from this area is pretty bright. So I'll start with selecting the top part. Oh, and what kind of selection tool should I use? Magic wand. Quick select. Those two are a pretty nice, easy selections. I probably will go to magic wand. Quick select. And then I'll go to quick select. I'll quickly select that top part. It's nicely selected. Here it is. And then it gets bleed out like this. You can always take this one out by holding Option key and then minus it, right? Fine tuning, we can do later. This part, I don't want to select it. So I selected the top part of the umbrella to tone it down. After I have the selection, I go to Adjustments. And I can take any kind of adjustments, but I often use curves adjustment. I think the curves adjustments are very useful because I can take any points possible to adjust it instead of darks or lights or only midtones. I also like to use this targeting tool, but I know this is highlights. So I'm going to bring out the highlight areas. Let's take a look at the curves. Curves, this is the lightest area. If you bring this one down, the highlights comes down. If I bring the shadow up, this one doesn't really have the shadows. Hold on. This area, right? Shadows up, then shadow will become brighter. That's how it works. So this is the absolute dark and then light. And then there are infinite ability to pick any kind of tone in between. If you like to keep the highlight as it is, but then bright area here, click on it. And bring this one up. I can adjust that. I'm going to bring this one down slightly. You don't have to do a lot, just a little bit. And if you like to compare before and after, you just need to show or hide the eyeball of my adjustments. Right. I mean, I can maybe try to bring slightly more. So that selected area, the top part of the umbrella, is now affected by this curves adjustment. Sorry, I'm going back and forth here. You see? And then that area is the area that I selected. Now, there is a problem. If you get closer, my selection isn't really perfect. Do you see that little line here? There is some line here too. And it's not so visible around here, but it must be something like that line here too. I kind of see something over here too. So that line, if you click onto the mask, you can look into the property and feather the edge. This is basically my mask right now, based on my selection. This is my mask, just to see the mask area. That edge should be softer. So I would click onto the mask, feather it. Do you see the difference around here if you look at it? As soon as I bring in the feather in, it softens it. Maybe it's really, really too subtle here. Do you see? So hard edge versus softer edge. So you can blend in better. I'll do the same thing to this area that needs to be brought up lighter. I start with selection. I select. I should probably select here too, right? I don't know if I should select the food. Maybe I'll decide later. If I get closer, you can see some of the imperfection of the selection. If you can quickly fix that, that would be great. Here, I need to take that one out. Here, I need to take that one out. I'm using the keyboard shortcut. The option would give you minus, right? Or you can always go up here into the option bar and then change it to plus and minus and plus and minus. But I feel using the option really is a quick way to go about that. I can change the brush size to make it smaller so that this edge also can be selected. Smaller brush, right? And then this one, I'll fix it. It's good enough. I'll come back and adjust the rest of it. I have the overall, okay, selection. Now, having the selection here, I again will go to curves adjustment layer while I have a selection. And that would create the curves too with my selected area masked. So that white area is the part of the umbrella and it's the mother and the son. And that white area is the area that gets affected by my adjustment. If you look at the curves adjustment, you can see that there are a lot of, well, this histogram represents the total value of the selected area. So there isn't really highlights, all shadows. That's why it's dark, it's backlit. Around here, I would like to brighten it up. I click, and then now I have an anchor point. You can also use this and then click around here too. You can use the targeting tool and then come around here. It falls into a similar area. And then this point, you can bring that one up. If you brighten this too much, it will look unnatural, I think. So I will stop somewhere around here. Before and after. Before and after. So basically this is a fill effect. If you have a large white cardboard or something in front, then the light will hit that white cardboard. That reflects back the lights back to those two people, basically. So that is what we're trying to simulate in here with selection and the curves adjustment. I will come closer and then see if there is any edges that are weird. I think I had something. Oh, this one. This is actually, this isn't supposed to be there. That area, this one, is my imperfection of my mask. If you like to fine tune it, click onto the mask on the layers palette. It's selected. You can see this is selected because this has an outline around it. Feathering wouldn't fix the problem. Feathering is applied to the entire edge of the mask, but I would like to get rid of this white area. That is part of this white area in the mask. I just simply grab the brush tool with not white color, but the black foreground color, and then come over here and then paint it over. And fix that. If you made a mistake and if your brush comes in this way, whoops, then that would affect your mask. You can take this mask out. Let me just see. This is the mask. That was my mistake. You can always grab the white brush, and changing the white and the black. You can change it by clicking onto this arrow key, or if you hit X on the keyboard, X, it will go back and forth. I need black. No, I need white here, and then fix it this way too. Basically, what is happening visually is that I am, oops, painting it in here. And then you can feather it overall. So that's the transition from where the background and the people are more smooth. So we started from here. Darken the top part of the umbrella. Lighten the people so that this becomes not about the background, this beautiful sceneries, not only beautiful sceneries, not only food, but about people enjoying that scenery and food.
What does that do?
So Control Z is undo one step backwards. So if you see that is just one step, then you can do Control Z. But my mistake was done much before that. I mean, many more steps before. Yes, right. Right. But you can do that too. But you like to know how to fine tune the mask too.
So what happens when you're using history? Is that the same issue? In other words, when you're just trying to...
If you like to undo what you have done, it is a matter of going back the history. But if you like to adjust and add more to the mask, then it is not the history. You do need to go in and then readjust.
Because history, you can't go in and just like delete one of those brush strokes. You delete everything.
Exactly.